Hey guys, I just stopped by to say hi, and in case anybody needed anything. Well, there's been two of you, Robert and Ethan. Yeah. Um, all right. Well, okay. I'm happy to stick around. No, if you guys want. I know, Ethan. You're now past six, right? You finished six, or are you working on
Oh,
six right now?
I'm still working on it right now. I don't think I've submitted any solutions yet. Right now, I'm still trying to make it past my own test cases.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. I did see your post on display. Sp23. You made a post on display, right?
Uh, I I I made the post on like the X and Y versus rows and column one.
Oh my gosh, hang on, wait a sec, okay? I totally messed up. Yeah, you're 2B. And I was thinking you were in 2C.
Oh,
And yeah. I remember the post now. It was Cheryl made the post about the X and Y, and then you were there. You helped out Cheryl, or
oh
like
no, I think
Dylan helped out, Namrata helped out, and I think you no, you did a post separately on that.
yeah.
Yeah. Tips on the octopus quest.
Wait, no. I think I was the one who I posted like a post asking a question about how X and Y works with rows and column, and
Great.
I think it was Dylan who responded to my post, and he helped that answer helped me a
Oh
lot.
yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. I see it now. It was Ryan posted the tips, but your name came up so many times that I thought you were the most recent one. Oh, question. Yeah. Question about X and Y versus rows and columns.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So a lot of things happen, and you're all very busy. That's why I'm getting confused. Who's doing what? Even between 2B and 2C, there's a lot of activity this quarter. Yeah. Very nice.
I'm in a class. Oh, sorry, I wasn't muted.
Yeah, you're not muted now, so I can hear you. And then Dylan. Great. Okay. Oh yeah, Shirley's here. I think all the regulars are here essentially. Maybe Namrata will join at some point. Is Namrata in 2B now? Yeah. I keep losing track because you guys are all in the entire, on the train basically, from start to finish. So I keep losing track. I was totally confused with Ethan before. Fantastic. Yeah, my 2A for the summer filled up, and 2B also, is more than half full. So let's see how that goes. Great. So yeah, it looks like you're all pretty much on the same, you eager to help yourself to help each other too, and I actually absolutely love that. Okay, so thanks. So unless you have any questions for me, I can just now that I've seen all of you now, I don't think anybody else is going to join, but if Namrata comes later, you can say I said hi to her. Who else usually comes to these meetings? I don't know. Right.
I have two quick questions.
Yeah, you have questions? Okay, cool.
The first was, let's see, pull this up. This is in regards to the ant quest number 7.
Oh yeah.
The first was I was just curious why. Let me see if I can share this. Oh no, it's on a different computer. Anyways, you have this line where it looks like you're just calling the default constructor for the Sentinel object at the beginning.
This is
just
the queue,
curious.
right? You using arrays?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm calling the default.
Yeah, let me see if I could pull this up here. Yeah. Actually, maybe I'll ask my other question while I can pull that up.
Sure.
For the onQueue functions and the peak functions, they use references to an object, whatever is in the queue, but they're asking to like return a copy or delete a copy. And
Hang
I'm
on, hang on.
wondering,
So there's only one function for queuing an object, right? The on queue only.
yeah, on queue, yeah. And peek
And-
is the
and
one
the
where you can
parameter to
just like
that is,
look at that. Yeah, the
It's a constant
parameter
reference,
is,
isn't it?
Mhm.
Constant reference, okay. You get given a constant reference.
and it says
And you
insert
copy
a
that.
copy of the given element into the end.
Yes.
And I'm just wondering, why is the parameter a reference if I'm going to be inserting a copy anyway?
Good question. Why is the parameter a reference? Why did I put it there? I'm gonna put a copy. Yeah, is it a constant reference?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so it's a constant. I think here's my rationale. Okay, so you can save my recording. That's my 2C meeting. Okay, right. So here's my reasoning at that time. So suppose the object was big. Right. Suppose the object was big. You don't want to copy the whole object onto the stack when you call this function, because you can have a queue of really, really large things. So you can say, here is the original, but it's a reference because I don't have the time to copy another one on the stack for you. So you can pass a reference, but I have to make it const so that, yeah, enqueue onqueue can't be like mischievous and modify it. I think that is a reason.
I see.
And then you're going to copy it internally. Yeah.
Okay, and then, so like on that same sort of, let me show this here. Screen. Okay. So like this is, can you see this?
Yeah, I can see it. Okay.
Okay, cool. For peek here, this also, it returns a reference to a T object.
Yes. Yes.
But
yes.
that's kind of confusing because it says return a copy, and I can't return a
Hang on.
copy
Wait.
to a local object as a reference.
Yes, absolutely. Hang on just a sec. That's a let me read this more carefully now. Maybe you're onto something here. Okay, so it's returning a reference to an object that is actually in the queue. So you have it in there physically, and you're going to return a reference to it, and which is okay because it's a const reference to that object. But why does it say return a copy of the front element?
That's what I was thinking.
Without changing it. Okay, so I see. So we want to give them the user a peek, saying this is what it is, but it's a const. You cannot change that guy. Here it is. Here is this big structure. It's a reference to that guy, but you cannot change it. So that's why you return a const, so that if you assign it to something, it'll be a copy. No, yeah, that's right. It's a const, but if you assign it to something that is mutable, the compiler will make a copy. That is my hypothesis, actually.
Oh, okay. So, but I'm not returning a copy. I'm returning
I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah, actually, make a note of this in the forum. I can use that to what is this, number 6, number 7.
7. Yeah.
Yeah, I can use this to update the spec too.
Okay, that makes sense.
But I have to think more about this. Why is it return a copy of the front element? And nobody complained about this until now. That's not return a copy.
Maybe I was reading into it more than other people were.
Yeah. So it says peek, all right, and it's gonna. What would make sense is that if it created a copy and then return a copy of a reference to the copy, but that doesn't make it's I think it should just be a const T reference. If you assign it to a mutable, the compiler should know. All right, now I can't. That's not a constant, and you're assigning a const to a non-const L value, so it's got to be a copy. I think that's what should happen, right?
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, hopefully.
Would call like a copy constructor or something.
References for that. Good question, Dylan. Yeah, totally didn't know that.
So sorry. So sorry about going back to that. So when you return the const, so are you just, how is that well, again, we're just not allowed to change that since it's a reference, right? Or because it's const, but we are,
because it's const, yeah.
Yeah, but we're seeing a reference to it. All we can do is just peek at, well, it's called peek, but all we can do is look at it. But why is it a copy? I don't know. It's just a reference.
No, that's what Dylan was saying. Yeah.
Huh? I'm sorry,
not a
what?
copy.
It's not a copy. Okay, I just saw
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So that was basically what Dylan was saying. Yeah,
All right,
it's
sorry, I
not a
just wanted
copy,
to-
but this whole thing
okay.
throws him off completely. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
The other
So-
question I had was about this here, this line. I was just like curious what
Oh,
this
yeah, yeah,
is
yeah.
and why you need to do this in
Yeah,
general.
yeah, you can unhighlight it. I think it's easier for me to read.
Sorry.
Yeah. So, all right. So what does it do? It's oh, Sentinel. All right. So you're making a Sentinel, and a Sentinel is your default object of type T.
Mhm. So does this just make it so like that's
It would be yeah, but it should really be the min or something. It should be a Sentinel. It's not a default object, right?
uh-huh.
I wonder what the spec says about this. I forgot. Well, oh, the queue has a Sentinel. When peak is invoked on an empty queue, you must return the Sentinel. I see. Okay, so what about the value of the Sentinel? There's no way you can tell. So oh, I see. So all right. So you provide a method called set Sentinel somewhere.
Mhm.
So there
Yeah.
must be a method somewhere that says you have to set the Sentinel before you start using it. And then the set Sentinel should go and set the value of that guy and say it's not a default anymore, but this is the value.
Oh, okay, I see. So this is just like it sets the Sentinel.
Yeah, but
to
does it
whatever
say,
the
do we
default
have
is.
that method?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
a
yeah.
separate method from this line.
But it doesn't set it to, it doesn't give the, there must be a method somewhere that says, change the Sentinel value. This is not the default object because default
Yeah.
object could be part of my data, right?
I think it's let's see, right here. These two.
There you go.
Set
Yeah,
and
yeah.
get.
So yeah, set and get Sentinel. Yeah, I think that's what it is.
So I was just curious, like why it needs to be set to a default object.
I think you
At the
don't
beginning
need
here.
to. It could just be some random junk.
Okay.
It could be some random junk. You don't need to set it to T.
I guess that's
um,
just some safety for if they haven't set it before they try to use this or something.
No, actually it doesn't. I think the right thing to do is just leave it uninitialized. Because C++, if you ask for an integer in C++, you get uninitialized junk, right? Because I think there was the string gives you an empty string, but char star doesn't give you an empty string.
Right.
So, and I think we had a discussion about this maybe in 2A. Is that in C++, the people from Python and all these other languages, they're spoiled. When they ask for an integer, they get a clean integer, right? But in C++, we say, what if you wanted 1 million integers? And the cost of cleaning them was redundant because you're going to overwrite them all anyway. So just give me random junk because the first thing I'm going to put in them is going to be the real value, not some default and then the real value.
Right.
And that adds up over 1 billion calls. Yeah. So in C++, we're mindful of all these, micro cycles that we could lose and say, you just give us what we want. Don't give us any more than what we want. And I think what you said is probably right. So Sentinel should be junk. I don't know if I'll make the change though, and the spec is too much now. But I think it's quite fine to be junk. And then because we do enforce somewhere in the documentation that you got to call that set Sentinel before your queue can be meaningful.
Right. And
yeah,
on the note
two
of
good
the
points. I gotta remember by tomorrow, I think.
On the note of the Sentinel, the specs don't really go into like how it's supposed to be used. Is it supposed to like for instance, if I were to dequeue the front of my queue, and since we're using this like circular, where does it show that picture?
No,
This
I don't think the
circular
Sentinel
buffer.
matters at all. The Sentinel doesn't matter for finding out when the queue ends and that circular thing, unrelated. Sentinel says this is a value that is not in the queue. You asked me to do something that is illegal and I have to return something to you. So this is what I can return.
Oh, okay. So when I extract this value here, I don't fill in the Sentinel here.
No. It's easy.
Okay.
You can be total junk because you're only interested in between the head and tail. Everything between there, you can totally ignore.
Okay.
So
okay.
so that's all extra work. We don't need to do that. Sentinel is something you pick and say, well, I'm only going to deal with positive numbers. Anytime I get a negative number, I know the operation failed. So you can say -1 is my Sentinel.
I see. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking
That's
that
why-
whenever I DQ'd something, I would fill that spot with the Sentinel so that it's like empty, but not empty.
Oh, you don't have to. Yeah, you're
Okay,
extra. You know, but I think that, you know, Java and Python guys would do it. Okay, you're coming from
Right.
that background. You say, all right, I need everything to be clean because, you know, although they're really messy because, you know, the garbage collector cleans up after that. In Java, you can just keep creating objects left and right. But more of those programmers I know tend to keep things clean as they go. But the C++ programmers tend to have a nose for saying it's good to keep things clean, but, you know, not at the expense of wasted effort. Meaning, I'm going to clean it, but someone else is going to clean it after me anyway. Right? So we can. That's why if you see all these, you know, cutting edge games, they're so slick and fast because they don't waste cycles doing useless shit. So even strings that have long, you know, and lots of spaces after the last character, they would, when they store it, they'll only store the last visible character. All the spaces will be gone because it won't be showing up, right?
Right.
You can't see it. So that kind of thinking only comes with, you know, working at the byte level, I think, in many cases. Maybe not. But the Sentinel is basically something you set and say, I'm willing to accept that if I get the Sentinel, whatever I ask the method to do, fail. And I told it beforehand, before I started using Q, this is the, you know, error signal for me.
So the Sentinel never goes into the queue. It's just like a separate thing to throw at the user if they do something wrong.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. This is actually a fun
Thank
quest
you.
because I think until for many quarters, I didn't have the efficiency points. So people could actually squeak through this quest without being an efficient, you know, queue, meaning that they would actually push and pop and resize the vector and shift things around and, you know, O of n operations instead of O of 1. But then I started noticing more and more people just passing the quest and getting full trophies without doing the efficient implementation. So then I stuck in the large queue extra credit trophies, and also the one for efficiency, meaning that you actually do O of 1 pushes and pops rather than O of n. So that was really nice, I think. Yeah, a few quarters ago. There's a whole bunch of extra trophies like this that I inserted over the last many quarters that now I totally don't know how many total trophies you can get. I got to do this, you know, grep and count, but even then I don't know. Many of them are conditional trophies and all, so I don't know. So I just go by you know, what's the maximum anyone has got so far? That should be the thing. All right, so yeah, I don't have anything else to say. Thanks, Dylan, for bringing up all these important points. Okay, and feel free to raise them all in the Reddit, and that's fantastic. Okay, and you're all caught up too, you know. And Robert is also working on the latest quest, so that's good. But finish it up before Monday is. I think it's Monday, Friday, Monday, something like that. And I think everybody. And Ryan, where's Ryan? He was catching up, and now he's caught up too. And he posted something on quest number 6. Yeah, and so I'm very pleased. All of you are doing really well.
Yeah, I
Right,
figured
thanks.
something out on quest number 6. So
Yeah. It's fun.
It
It's
was-
fun, you know, just getting the lines lined up because there's so many different ways to do it. That's the
yeah. I like tested out my code in the main and I noticed that it was missing like one like line. So yeah, it was
You're
like
missing a
missing
line?
line 0 in the for loop. I tried to account for that, but when I did, it would not print or do anything. So I created a separate for loop just for like one specific, like for 0. So yeah,
Well, okay, have fun playing around. Okay, there's lots
Yeah.
lots in this
it
adventure.
was out. I
Okay.
don't know.
All right, you got your weekend now, your memorial weekend all planned out. Great. Enjoy, okay? Enjoy and just email me and have a good time. Bye.
Thanks, Professor.
Thanks.
All right.
Well, I got to assign someone. Oh, Antonio's not here. Dylan, can you take over as the host?
Sure. I guess. I don't actually know what that means, but
So we're able to do the stick man?
Yeah, I
Uh,
got it done.
Does it show you mismatches, or does it just say, because my stickman message, all it said was, your stickman has a different limb count. That's it. Just didn't, it was very vague. So
It
does
does show. Yeah.
is it
I had
supposed to show an image?
Well, I guess if you have the right amount of limbs, it'll probably show an image, because I had one that was like, here's what you did, here's what I expected.
Oh shoot. Okay, so yeah, mine just has a different limb count. And I'm like, I have no idea what that meant. So
Well, you have a head, a torso,
left
2 arms,
arm.
2 legs.
Yeah. I
Are
pushed
you
it.
sure
I did a
you're not
vector
making
pushback,
uses?
I guess. I did a part dot pushback and then head, torso, left, right, left leg, right leg. So I don't know.
You might need
Are
to
you sure?
create a parts vector first.
Are you sure your
Sorry,
stick
what?
man doesn't have 2 heads?
Was
Yeah.
that?
Are you sure your
Mhm.
stick man doesn't have 2 heads?
2 heads had to no. I just did what I did was I just set up the I guess here, let me share my screen. Let's see here. Where'd I put it?
I
I
don't think you
just
can show us your code.
no, I'm showing this. Oh, I know, that was accident. This one here,
Mhm.
I just did a pushback of my parts vector with the head, torso, left arm, left leg, right leg. That's it.
And you made these are dynamically allocated. You said new upright rectangle, new
Oh, right.
line.
I did first I set it up. Yeah, I did the upright rectangle new, and then these parameters, and then
Mhm.
torso line, torso new, something like that. And then new for left arm, right arm, and the legs. And then I pushed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I did 6 pushbacks onto the parts vector.
Yeah, that should be all you have to do.
Strange. Okay. Limb count.
Well, have you tried drawing it in your main to see if you've got a default guy?
I did, and yeah, I don't, let me see. Let me try again. Let me try and draw it again. Maybe, I don't know. Another thing is, let me share it again, sorry. Yeah, again, also what was weird was like this, they don't show the parentheses of how I didn't understand the calculation for the left arm and right arm for this. Did you use exactly this? Y plus H over 4?
Yeah, because you can put parentheses, but you want the order of operations to happen that way,
Okay,
like
exactly
the
how
way
it
it's
is.
written. So
Okay.
like the H divided by 4 should happen before the Y plus, like it's Y plus H divided by 4, not Y plus H divided by 4.
Right, like not like the whole Y plus H, all of this divided by 4.
Yeah,
It's H divided by 4 plus Y, I guess you're
yeah.
saying.
And like the X plus 3 times that one.
Yeah, I did W divided by 4, and then
It should be 3 times W divided by 4.
oh,
Because multiplication and division have the same priority, but it goes left to right. So since the
oh, I see.
multiplication happens first, it's 3 times W divided by 4, not
Okay.
W divided by 4 times 3.
All right.
So you can put parentheses in there, but it honestly might just be better to just write it like
Just
that.
leave it as it is.
If you're having any issues, you can do that, and then it should work like that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I had several issues with that where I had, wrapped it in some parentheses in a way that made sense to me, and then the output was all sort of wrong.
Oh God. Yeah, just leave it. Probably what it is it should work as how it's written. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Well, shoot, your stick man might have too many limbs.
Maybe. Maybe
Yeah,
that's
I'm
what
pretty
happened.
curious
Mhm.
about why you would have too many limbs if you're doing it the way you said.
Yeah, I have to look at my code and see where I messed up. Should be just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. All right.
And if you're doing pushback every time, then you're not overwriting anything.
Yeah, I clear it first, right? We clear the parts first and then push back. That's
I
what I'm
actually don't
doing.
even really see that. I didn't clear the parts vector because this is the constructor, so there shouldn't be anything in the vector. But I did see that it says to clear it. I didn't do that.
Oh, really?
Uh,
Yeah, I just followed that. I just did clear, I don't know. I was just,
It's probably better safe than sorry.
okay.
But as far as I understand, the vector should, as long as it's the right size, it should be filled with just like whatever your default
All right.
is. And if it hasn't been sized, then it's totally empty. It doesn't have anything in there.
Okay. Let's see if this works. I'll just. Yeah, I was just wondering if you did see a stick man, and then if it mismatched, it actually shows the mismatch.
Yeah, it shows it.
Okay. Ugh, then I just get happy. At least I get a password, and then I'm like, okay, good. I can move on. That's all.
So which mini quest did you get to that gave you the pass?
Which one? The
Mini quest? When it gives you the password.
well, which quest? Oh yeah, because the moment they get to rectangle, is that what you're asking? Like
Yeah.
rectangle, and then after rectangle, then it gives you the password,
Okay.
and then they say, oh, then you check your stick man after that. And I didn't get that to that point.
Hmm.
See if it's gonna work.
How many points does this quest give you?
Before the password, it only gave me, wait, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 22. It gave me 22 points before the password.
How about total?
Yeah, I don't, whoever completed it.
Yeah, I got
got
28.
28. And you completed the whole thing?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think. I guess there could be hidden trophies.
There could always be hidden things
Yeah.
in these. I know I did that in like CS2A. I did find some hidden things, but I think that had more to do with like sentinels and like just little things.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I don't know what kind of hidden things there are in this quest, or there might have been something in the last quest, but in this one, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really know what I would think to sort of add in extra stuff.
Well, I got to main quest 6. Point. I just started reading it.
Which one is 6?
Point.
Okay. So you're starting to
Yeah.
go through the shapes now.
Yeah. The first shape is point, I guess, and then it goes to line.
Mm-hmm.
And after that,
Line, point was pretty easy for me. Line is a little tricky, I think, getting the draw by X and draw by Y. Or really just the
Hmm.
draw functions to work properly.
all
But
right.
just really make sure that it's super easy to, once you get to like line and rectangle and stuff, to accidentally swap. It's like X1, X2, or X1, Y1, X2, Y2, X3, Y3. It's super easy when you're like typing this out really fast to like accidentally do X1 instead of X3 or whatever. And then you've got one wrong parameter, and it's so hard to find them because they're just like a list of these tiny little variables.
Yeah.
So be
I
really
guess.
careful about that.
Yeah, I've been more careful now than like when I started this quarter. So yeah, like when I started this quarter, I didn't take into account to create the constructor and to initialize it to like create the constructor, but I changed the default values of the constructor, so that was causing me problems. I'm seeing,
Yeah.
yeah. So I've kind of accounted not to change any default values
Yeah.
unless
Yeah.
like it doesn't actually matter, like sentinels, but yeah. So yeah, you kind of have to take into account like you're not gonna do anything weird with any of the constructors. Because if your
Mhm.
constructor is very long or like your code is exceeding like more than 10 lines in some cases, you're probably doing something wrong.
Yeah. Shirley, did you get your stickman drawn?
Let me, I'll just show my output. Yeah, this is what I got.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, it looks weird. I mean,
But it has all the
his
left.
left leg is broken. His ankle's
Yeah.
Oh
broken.
my gosh. Are we playing Dwarf Fortress?
That, wait, so when you submitted this, it said you
It
don't have
just
enough limbs?
yeah, let me see if I can submit it again. Like this is so crazy.
You just need to like have a smiley face and you'll get extra points.
I tried for a little while to make the cool S we were talking about in the last one. It's like too much work.
Let's see. I've submitted it again, and let's see. It's going.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah.
Gosh, you have a lot of tabs open.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem. Alas, your stickman ain't the same size as mine. I don't know.
Size.
Yeah.
That seems different. That's not limbs.
Oh, same size.
Are you setting the width and height in your constructor? Because you should be.
Yeah, based on the spec, it just, on the that part where where's the that part is coded, I guess. This the stickman here. The right here. So this is what I have. And I added, of course, I added setting X equals 0, Y equals 0, W and H. So I did add the inline constructor. for that and make sure that they're, so same size. I don't wonder what that means.
Well, you can't, there is the little added, if you stop right here, your default height is 40 and default width is 20. If the constructor passed values of 0 or 1 for H, you should silently set it to this default height.
Yeah.
Did you do that?
One of them was 0. So I checked if W or H is 0 or 1. If there are, then I set it to 40 and I set the height to 40 and 20, yeah. Width for 20.
Okay. Well, you should just set it not to like hard coded 40 or 20. You should set it to stickman : default W.
Oh,
stickman,
colon. Okay.
just in case, you know, his grader is changing what those values are.
Maybe, yeah, you're right. Did this constructor mess with the screen size? No. I don't think it didn't do that, right?
No, I don't think
Okay.
it does anything with that.
Okay, maybe that's where maybe because I hard coded it, maybe that's why.
And you set X to be whatever X is passed in and Y to be whatever Y is passed in.
Yeah, I did that.
Okay. Yeah, that should be everything. Maybe it's just the hard coding of the defaults. Could be.
Okay. Okay, maybe maybe I messed. Yeah, I did hard code that. All right. Let's see, default. Maybe I'll try that. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I did that. Let me see if that works. So. All right. Yeah, I'll try it one more time.
I'm gonna go.
All right, see you, Robert.
Hey, thanks.
I have to continue working on my program tonight and then see if I finish it tonight or tomorrow. So
Yeah, post any problems you have.
Yeah, again, thanks again for all your help on Reddit and stuff.
Yeah.
I was able to get through it. So, and also have a nice long weekend.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
See you.
I'll continue to work on mine, but you know, we'll see.
Hey,
All right.
Robert.
All right. I'll go too.
See you later.
Thanks. Yeah, thank you. Okay, bye.
Bye.
I guess I'll leave us off.
See.
I don't have any questions right now. So.
Okay, good.
All right.